Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Triumph SuperBike Classic presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. I'm Barry Boone alongside the great Scott Russell, 5-time Daytona 200 winner. We're set to go with American SuperBike moments away. As the bikes slip into gear here in just a moment, we see that all the grid marshals are exiting the racetrack, but one seeing to the business in the back of the field. So now that being dispensed with, bikes go into gear, visors are down. We are set to go in Superbike race number 1 at the Triumph SuperBike Classic. Roger Hayden got a real good start, but I believe it's Josh Hayes that's going to lead him through 1.
Well, a guy that did not get a good start was Cameron Bobier. That thing choked up on the line, and he did not get it off there good. I think he's in like 5th spot, so that's not what he wanted. Josh Hayes is exactly what he wanted.
It sure is. You know, you always want to beat your teammate, and Josh has a little bit of an advantage on him right now as Hayes tiptoes down into the Charlotte's Web corner for the first time here in American Superbike. He'll lead him up the hill. Fans getting a good look now as they head over towards the carousel. And it is on, fully on. That is the 95 machine of Roger Hayden in the 2 spot. Number 36, his teammate, Martin Cardenas, running in the 3 spot as things are settling down for the moment a little bit. But I know what's on Roger Hayden's mind. He's looking up front. He said, I'm not letting that guy get away from me.
Well, that's exactly what he's thinking. He's got to really put his head down, too, because the 4's dialed in. And when he gets clear racetrack, there's hard to stop Josh Hayes.
You know, in years past, we've seen him run away and hide from fields, winning by 6, 7, 8 seconds. Those days have been gone now for a while. Oh, we've got a hard get-off down in the corner. The machine certainly took the worst of it, and it's Martin Cardenas. He's on his feet. The bike did a flip, and it did about 9 of them. Cardenas got immediately up. For him, it was just sliding along on his back, fully protected by his leathers. But now he'll come to his feet and walk away from a badly mangled Yoshimura Suzuki GSXR 1000. He knows his race is ended.
Yeah, he's a little bit shaken up right there, Barry. Took his glove off right away, took a look at his hand. Hopefully he'll be okay for tomorrow's race, but that was a big get-off right there. And now Roger Hayden is right on the wheels of Josh Hayes, and his teammate Cameron Bobier on the other Yamaha has made his way around Chris Fillmore and runs in that 3rd spot.
Roger Hayden is about as physically fit as I have ever seen him. On his social media, he posted a sight the other day out bicycling. You could really see how trim and how fit Roger Hayden is, and you pointed this out at Road America, that Roger's riding as well as he has ever ridden in Superbike, perhaps better.
Yeah, in the last couple of years he really has, and when he started training harder, look at him now, and now he's in the Yamaha sandwich right now as they go off the back straightaway down into turn 12 and 13 area right here. This is heading over the hill. This will be the section where Martin Cardenas lost his Yoshimura Suzuki early in the first lap there.
Roger, having spent a number of years with the National Guard Jordan Suzuki team, now he's on the factory Suzuki ride. He's very comfortable there. They seem to be gelling nicely. He and the new team, they're not a new team, he's not a new rider, but they're new together. And you're right, he has not turned loose. Josh Hayes has got about a 4 or 5 bike length advantage, but he is not pulling away on Roger Hayden as of yet.
Quickest man last time on racetrack, Cameron Bobier, 125.6 to the leaders, 125.9. So keeping the number 2 in sight right there. He's coming, and he needs to get around Roger Hayden quick. Doesn't need to get around him fast, but probably wants to. Maybe he'll be happy to sit here and just kind of see where these guys are strong at.
And perhaps he too would like to just keep the leaders right there in sight and stay with them, because one thing about Cam Bobier's last year, we saw him put on a clinic in GoPro Daytona Sport Bike, winning both rounds here. The man leading won both Superbike rounds. Ironically, now they are teammates, and both of them won it here bad. And Roger Hayden is wanting to break that party up between the two and put his name on the trophy here at the Triumph SuperBike Classic, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union, for sure.
Roger looks really strong off that back straightaway. Gets the bike turned out of the museum corner and gets on the gas early, and able to really set good pace with the Yamaha guys. And through this section looks strong as well. And Cameron just going through that section, he had a little tip over early this morning. Looks like he shrugged that off, no problem, and he's right back to business, looking to find a way around Roger.
Raj looks so good. He has not made a single mistake that I've seen of any kind in this one. And if you can't make that kind of mistake, you can't make a mistake. Typically when you're following Josh Hayes, he doesn't put a wheel wrong. You know, the man's kind of a machine, really. And Roger knows that. He's been watching the dominance of Josh Hayes for 2 or 3 seasons or more, and he really wants to be that guy right now. And Roger's got a shot. He is drawn right up on the back of Hayes here in Charlotte's Web.
Looks really strong through that 2, 3, 4 area, which leads you over to Charlotte's Web. You're talking about hard braking zones, so maybe there's something there for Roger. Maybe he can line Josh up and have a run at the 4 down into that corner. This is another section I think he's doing well. They'll jump the curb right here, getting the bike in and having a lot of confidence on the front end of the motorcycle right there is key. But getting back to throttle, you'll see right there, he's really pacing with Josh off there. And they drop Cameron a little bit off there as they accelerate off that corner a little bit. He's got to work to try to make that up on the brakes down here.
This is a long race. This is 21 laps in about 93 or 94 degree high humidity day. And that it's early yet in this one. 3 of 21, so we're looking at a long way to go, Scott. Physical conditioning is going to matter, I would think, wrestling these big bore superbikes around this place today.
Yeah, so I expect Josh to kind of set a pace that he's comfortable with and feels like I'm really good with this. I'm not really putting myself out on the edge too much, because knowing at the end of the race that's when you really got to be good. Right now, you want to try to conserve anything as far as tires go and your body. Because when you get tired, your brain's the first thing that starts to go and you start making mistakes. So Josh he knows how to manage pain. He rides cycles all the time, so he's good at what he's doing right now, and he's good at leading these races.
He absolutely is a extreme bicyclist. He and his wife Melissa both ride a lot. Josh rides with a lot of people, as my partner Scott Russell does. And I know that's good physical conditioning. And I think it helps, but I don't know that anything can prepare you much for what you got to do here this afternoon. Raj is doing good. Raj is running a different line in many parts of this racetrack than Josh Hayes. It's almost like he's just trying some different things back there in the 2 spot, and some of it is working.
Wow, I don't know what Cameron Bobby was doing in the inside of that corner on the grass, but he had issues back there in the museum corner, and now he's really dropped off this lead pack. Looks like he's back up to speed. He made a bobble somewhere. We didn't catch that, but I saw him in the grass, and he's back on track and he's okay now. But give a shout out to Dave Anthony, who's worked his way around Chris Fillmore in the last couple of laps too. Dave's really riding great this year, and it's good to see Chris having a little bit of a problem with him right now, but still running in 5th spot.
He is. Dave Anthony on the ADR Motorsports Sick Motul Suzuki had a great run up at Road America. It was rain impacted, but he rode better. He looked like he had wets on in the rain and came up to finish in the 2 spot. He's a good mudder, as some would say. And right here, this is kind of epic to me, because it's almost age and experience versus youthful enthusiasm. Not that Raj is a pup or anything, but compared to the experience of Josh Hayes on a superbike, he kind of is. And it's got to feel good for Raj. Hayes goes a little bit wide, and Raj closes right up on the tail.
So easy to do, and you know Roger wants to win this thing bad. He's won here before, had some issues here before, as Danielle talked to him on the grid about, but he feels good about this racetrack, and looking at the bike right now, it looks like it's working well. Can he keep the pressure on Hayes and maybe make him make a larger mistake than he just made right there? So he's not perfect. We've seen Josh make some mistakes over the last couple of years. They're rare, but can he keep the heat on him? And there's a lot of heat out there right now, and let's see if the 4 can make another mistake and maybe open the door for the 95.
I might defend Josh a little bit, because the times we've seen him make mistakes is when he was under extreme pressure. And extreme pressure is not something he's had to deal with much in the last 3 or 4 years. Now I think he understands the program. I've got to stay focused. I've got to hit my marks. I got to keep it up, because company has arrived in Superbike for him.
It has. It's great to see, but you don't like to see anybody run away and win these things a mile ahead. You do as a rider. You want to be out there. But for everybody watching here, we like to see this heat being put on the Josh Hayes right now.
I guess Rose and Earl Hayden are probably in the motorhome right now, watching fanschoice.tv. It's hot. I'm sure that Rose has got a history of staying in the hauler. She's never been one for sitting out watching a race go down. As Josh continues to hold off a very hard-charging Roger Lee Hayden. Roger is definitely in the game here today. Let's look a little deeper in the field now that we're getting down to about 15 to go or so. It's Josh Hayes followed by Roger Hayden. As my partner Scott Russell said, Aussie Dave Anthony having another good day. He currently is third. Chris Fillmore, another one that's having a big race. He's got the KTM up in the 4th spot, number 11. Chris Clark running in the 5th spot. Larry Pegram on the EBR is running in the 6th spot. Sean Dwyer's having a great day. He's on Eagles wings here today. Number 361 up to 7th. Corey West 8th. Chris Ulrich in the 9th spot. And that's how they're running at the moment.
Well, one guy you forgot, and that's Cameron Bobier. I think he's tipped over again in turn 1. I see a yellow flag, and he's marched right down the order. I don't want to say that, but I see a waving yellow in turn 1, and I don't see Cam on. He's dropped down the order right now.
That is a good observation. It's not a standing yellow, it's a waving yellow in turn number 1. That's probably right. He is continuing to slip down the order, and when they cross this time, it'll matter. He's back in 15th now, so Cam having a tough day. Roger makes a move. He looks to the inside in Charlotte's Web. He has to fall back in line, but he certainly showed him a wheel.
Well, for Josh Hayes, if he gets the pit board right now that Cam's not in this race anymore, and that may change his approach. I doubt it. I think he's still going to want to win the thing. But as far as a points race goes, now a little bit of pressure's off of him right now to just kind of bring this thing home today. He doesn't have to fight super hard, although that's just who he is. He's going to want to win every race he can.
It may only be a 2-rider battle up front, but it is a good one, and it is way interesting right now to me because of the circumstances and because of, again, all that experience in Josh Hayes. And right now, Roger Hayden is in this thing, and he's in it to win it. And I'm not sure, but I think he's going to show us something before this one's over. I don't think we've seen the last of the front of that Yoshimura Suzuki at this field. I do believe he's going to make a shot at some point and try yet again. But Josh is riding brilliantly. You got to hand it to him. The Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team doing their lead rider up front doing well.
Yeah, they're coming to this section, turn 2 now, over the top of the hill. Get the bike driving down the hill, and this is where Roger looks really good. He might have kind of a run at Josh last time by. Look at him. He sweeps through turn 4 with some good speed. Not close enough this time, but last lap was very close.
Pardon me, didn't mean to interrupt you. We've got a red, and I don't know why. We'll find out in a moment. Well, I called Josh the lead rider, but with Cam Bobier leading the points, I don't know if everybody in the house would agree with that. So we've got a red flag. Okay, we've got the rolling medical to check on a rider. Number 18, Chris Ulrich down in turn number 1. So there's no cleanup involved, so I guess it wasn't Cam Bobier involved in that. Cam apparently is running 15th, I guess. I haven't seen him, though, in a little while. But we do have a red flag situation as we were getting close to the halfway point.
Well, hopefully they'll get everybody out and check these guys out. Hopefully they're okay, the riders in question. For the leaders, again, break stride, and they're going to have to regroup and try to get back to where they were and get back in that same mode and rhythm that they were in right there. We had a great race shaping up at the front. So hopefully we'll regain that battle as we left it.
So they're making their way down. Roger Hayden comes to the attention of the Yoshimura Suzuki factory team. He'll step off the GSXR 1000. And there's Josh Hayes. Boy, don't you know, a big old bottle of water is going to feel good and a little bit of shade in the fan for these guys right now. There's a look right there. That's the 95 GSXR 1000. There's Raj. He's climbed off. There's the Honda, the Geico Honda. As Ulrich apparently required a little bit of medical attention. They're going to look him over, check him over, make sure that he's okay. Again, AMA Pro rules require, this is for the benefit of the teams, they call a minimum 10-minute red. If the red is flown, it has to be red for a minimum of 10 minutes so that the teams can expect to know when the soonest is that they would go back. And right now, the 10-minute red flag minimum time period clock is ticking. Look at that shot right there for those of you that when you watch this on television or on your, I call it TV because what I do is I put my laptop up on top of my DVD player. I unplug the HDMI cable and plug it into the back of the laptop. I sit over in my comfy chair with a wireless mouse and boom, it's on TV. And the clouds, everything about this place today is magical. It's beautiful. Of course, it will be a grid and go situation when we get ready to go back. But right there is a look at some of the fan-friendly things going on here at Barber. Some of the great concessionaires. McAllister's Deli, that's a great spot right there. And one of those big lemonades would be good up here in the tower right now. We see all you folks over there behind the back stretch on the hillside. Oh man, that's Jack Roan and Marty Hayden and those guys right there, I think. Fans, hey guys, we see you. Young man, you got your shirt off. Be sure you got sunscreen now. Don't get burned up out there. Look, this guy's reading a novel. Oh no, he's reading his, I've got one of those. He's reading his Road America, or his Barber fan guide. I got one right here. It's pretty cool. Look at the people up under the trees. They were in the shade, Scott, but sadly, with the way the sun is moving, you folks are all out in the bright sunshine now. Hello, we see you up there. Great to see so many folks here today at this classic event. The Triumph SuperBike Classic, as a matter of fact, presented by America's First Federal. Let's take a minute and enjoy a little music, take a breath, and we will come back with the unbelievable, exciting conclusion because right now, all these Superbike riders will be regrouped and they'll all be together when we go back to green. We'll be right back. Going to be 14 remaining when we get back under green here in a couple of moments. Thoughts with our buddy Chris Ulrich, hoping that all is well with him, and I'm confident that it is. Well, it's always called the hot pit, but today it is especially hot down on the hot pit. And let's check in with Danielle.
That's right, Barry. It's especially hot down here. I'm catching up with the number 2, Cam Beaubier. Cam, Barber's typically a very good place for you. It seems to be getting a little bit of the best of you here this weekend. Can you tell us what happened and why you're down?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had a really good lap going in qualifying, and for whatever reason, I tucked the front. I got in a little hot, and same thing this afternoon. I felt like I had no grip compared to earlier, and made a mistake, and then was trying to catch back up, and like I just washed the front end and the right-hander, the last right-hander. So I just I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed at this point. I'm sick of crashing, and I don't know. I just hope they get it back together and see what happens tomorrow.
Barry.
Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, he's heartbroken for sure. He's feeling a little bit dejected right now. Don't take it too hard, Cam. It's a tough deal you're in right there, and you'll have days like that, right, Scott?
Unfortunately, you do. But back it up to Elkhart, where he felt like, he lost the front end feel in race 2, fell down, and he's having some similar problems here. So it could be something with just the way they set his bike up a little bit. Who knows? But he's ridden so well up to this point that you just hate to see that, and kind of hopefully it doesn't knock his momentum away and knock him off his confidence down too much, because he's a great rider, and he'll be back, and we'll see if it's today or tomorrow. But yeah, unfortunate for Cam.
And there's nobody that has followed his career, I think, that wouldn't come right out and say he's really a mega talented young rider, and he's got it going on. I don't know how you would get what he needs, if in fact he needs a little more front end feel. I mean, we've watched the Ducati teams in MotoGP struggle with that forever. So some can't be solved, but I got a feeling they'll get him what he wants.
Well, he's found the edge of grip now, so he knows where it's at. But again, on a racetrack like this, a real front endy racetrack, pushing hard, trying to come back from some ground he had lost, it's easy to do.
You called it a front endy racetrack when we went on this afternoon, and Cam would probably agree with you right there. 2-minute boards and horns are being shown along the paddock, the hot pit. They've got a rather loud air horn for benefit of our new fans that they'll blow as they're displaying the different boards. They have a 3-minute board, a 2-minute board, a 1-minute board, a 30-second, and then it's on. So here at the Triumph SuperBike Classic, SuperBike race number 1, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union, is underway. 21-lap affair, 14 laps remaining. When the red flew, it was Josh Hayes up front, Roger Hayden running in the 2 spot, Aussie Dave Anthony 3rd, Chris Fillmore 4th, Chris Clark in the 5th spot, Larry Pegram 6th. Sean Dwyer having a great run here in Superbike in the 7th spot, Corey West 8th. Bernat Martinez from Alberic, Spain, on the Prototech Spain Yamaha, running in the 9th spot. Reese Wacker 10th. Trent Gibson 11th. Johnny Rock Page 12th. Frankie Babuska running in the 13th spot. Chris Ulrich was 14th. Cam Beaubier was 15th. Martin Cardenas is 16th. So a turn of events here late in the going. 30-second board and horn are happening as we speak. So in 30 seconds from right now, they'll be on these motorcycles rolling towards what will then be a green flag at pit out. And we will be back underway with a quick grid and go, and we'll be back for that in just a matter of a minute or so, however long it takes them to get around this place. And don't forget, coming up yet, Vance and Hines qualifying 1 will happen here yet today.
Vance and Hines is pleased to be associated with AMA Pro Racing to bring you the Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson Series. This series features Harley-Davidson motorcycles, specially modified with Vance and Hines race kit parts. Vance and Hines also provides the finest exhaust systems for your street or off-road motorcycle. For more information, visit www.vanceandhines.com.
So let's check in real quick. Christy Lee may have an update for us on Cam Beaubier's mechanical situation. A good bit of mechanical work has been going on Cam Beaubier's motorcycle down there. I heard that they'd replaced the entire exhaust system and a bunch of other items on that machine as well. So those guys have been earning their keep down there, completely rebuilding a damaged motorcycle. Will they get back out in time? I don't know. We'll find out in a moment. Josh Hayes has come to the top of the order here once again. He has taken his starting spot, Scott, up at the head of the class. Perhaps these guys needed a quick break. Might not have heard a thing to cool off a minute.
May not have. You know, the only thing is the guys that got good starts in that race were the two guys up front. They're going to want to repeat that. But it gives the other guys a chance, too. So Dave Anthony gets to move up on the front row now, so keep your eye on the 25. And Chris Fillmore on the 11 on the KTM as well. So everybody's kind of got to redo it again and see if they can get back to where they were.
So there they are. Number 4, Josh Hayes. Number 95, Roger Hayden. Number 25, Aussie Dave Anthony. There's Chris Fillmore, number 11. Chris Clark, number 6. And Larry Pegram, number 72. Up into that 6th spot. Grid and go is on. And Roger Hayden's got a real good start. He's going to have to roll out of the throttle, though, just a little bit and follow Hayes through turn number 1, heading to 2.
You can see he wanted to stay in it right there, but Josh had that just a bit of a wheel on the outside. Kind of came down on him and said, this is my line. He's going to take the lead again, and kind of a carbon copy of what we had before.
Great start by our leaders, and Roger wants it, and he takes a look down the inside of Josh Hayes, heading into Charlotte's Web. He cleanly gets it done, but predictably goes wide, and Hayes will close the deal right back on him.
Well, he barreled in there pretty hot that time. I mean, he went by Josh like he was sitting still almost on the brakes, so you kind of wondered he was going to be able to hold it. He did a good job just to stay on track and not lose any positions with that move.
From our vantage point, though, it was clear to see he was rocking and rolling, and he would really have to do a heroic thing to keep it down on the bottom, but he's still definitely in it. It didn't cost him. Timing and scoring reporting, it's a clean official start, but Roger wants it today. He's in it. He's right there with Hayes. They seem to be very evenly matched on horsepower as well.
Boy, look how fast these guys are right out of the gate. They're just jetting away from the rest of the field already. Huge lead already as they come over into the last section of turns where we talked to Cameron Beaubier. He had his crash right here in this right-hand turn. That's what happened to him in the last part of the first race. And now these guys are back at it up front.
And back at it they are. It'll be 13 to go now that they've crossed the stripe. 21 the total distance, 13 remaining.
Roger looks like he's got good mid-corner speed on the Suzuki. He's able to roll right up there with Josh, make a little time on the brakes, kind of rolling into the corner a little bit. You can see Josh bike's getting really unstable, and that's going to open the door, but Roger learned last time I overshot that again. I don't want to push my luck right there.
He's thinking about it still. He goes to the very bottom of the racetrack on the exit of Charlotte's Web, and we're hearing that Cam Beaubier is rolling. Hats off to the team. I got to tell you that Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team. I got you. So now he's being stopped because the first lap had been completed. They got the bike finished just a few seconds too late, but still a heroic effort. And I know Cam's disappointed he was not able to get back out there. Meanwhile, up front, Josh Hayes and Roger Hayden going at it for the race lead. And Scott, you just get a feeling this thing is going to go all the way to the wire at their current, what we've seen thus far in this one.
Yeah, I don't think Josh has got what it's going to take to get away from Roger. Roger looks super strong, looks comfortable on the Suzuki, and you know, now he can just sit and ride with Josh for a minute. If he opens the door, he'll take that spot. He's going to be trying to find a place through because it's difficult here, Barry. We talked about it already, how hard it is to pass.
We hope you're enjoying our live flag-to-flag coverage here at fanschoice.tv. We've been on air since 8 a.m. this morning Central Time. We've covered every single lap of every practice. Well, it wasn't any practice except for the Vance and Hines. We've covered every lap of qualifying and races today. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow. You're going to see it all right here on fanschoice.tv. And we are seeing a good two-man battle up front. And again, to look a little deeper, it's Aussie Dave Anthony third, Chris Clark in the sixth spot, or in the fourth spot, Chris Fillmore fifth, Larry Pegram sixth. That's how they're running a little bit deeper in the field, but we can't take our eyes off of this battle up front, because if Josh Hayes makes the tiniest mistake, Raj is there, and he may not have to make a mistake. Raj may make the move anyway. He's done it a couple of times, and he may yet have another one or two in him here before it's over.
Fillmore made some moves back in the back of the pack, and well, not in the back, going for the fourth spot. He was able to overtake Chris Clark as they went into Charlotte's Web that last lap. We don't see that, but that was a little bit of a change in the top five, so Fillmore's getting a little racy right now. And Larry Pegram's not that far behind that group either.
We'll see if Pegram can follow Fillmore around Clark and continue to move up through the field, but they're having a good go of it back there in that battle that we get a glimpse of here every once in a while.
You know, that red flag was not only an opportunity for some of these riders to cool off a little bit again, get some more water in their system, but also make a little tweak to the biker if they needed to, because going into this two-day weekend, you know, that's a lot less practice that these riders are used to getting. And so coming into this race, maybe they were able to tweak the bike a little bit, make it a little bit better. Right now, Hayes looks like he's starting to get away from Roger just a little bit.
They're coming to halfway when they get back to the stripe this time, so there's a lot of time remaining in this 21-lap affair.
This is one of those racetracks where you can really override the track. If you try too hard, you can really shoot yourself in the foot as far as lap times, making mistakes. It's kind of the racetrack you kind of let it come to you. When you start rushing it, especially on a big superbike, you could really, really kill your lap time. And just finding a rhythm is a trick in this sport anyway, but a track like this really pays off when you just do it just right and not push too hard. It looks like Josh has found that rhythm right now and starting to put it on Roger just a little bit. Roger's going to have to find a way to try to make up these 10 bike lengths that he's lost already.
You're kind of describing finesse, aren't you?
I'm trying to in a southern way. Thank you.
Well, no, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm with you.
Yeah, you're on it.
Just finesse, just be gentle with your inputs. Don't superheat your tires, just be cool.
Don't outbrake yourself, you know, work on getting through the corner and getting off the corner smoothly and just being solid on the entrance to the corner.
I learn something from you every time. Learning right now. Hayes still up front, being very smooth, applying all those skill sets, applying all those techniques that Scott Russell has been describing right there. You're looking at the master of smooth when he needs to be. Number 4, Josh Hayes. But somehow, you know what? He can't really close the deal. He cannot put Roger away. Roger is still right there in the hunt. Might be just kind of cooling himself and his tires a little bit back there, being Mr. Smooth himself, waiting to make another run at the top.
You know, I think it was maybe just a little bit of a mistake from Roger somewhere around the racetrack, because he's recouped that loss that he'd made, and now he's kind of parked right on the rear wheel of Josh again, just like he was earlier in the run. So Roger's got the speed. He's definitely got the right lines. He's got the Suzuki working well.
And he's made a couple of what we might call mistakes, trying some different things. And Scott, every time, he has been able to close right back up on him and close that deficit. So if you can do that, if you can catch a man like that, perhaps you can make a move on him and get around.
Well, I think he can do that. He's just got to get a little bit closer, obviously, than he is right now. Still with 12 laps to go, there's still plenty of time to sort that out right now, and just keeping the heat on Josh right now is exactly what he needs to do.
Oh, and guess what? We have 41 Super Sport riders yet to have a race today, and that's going to happen after this one. And then following that, it'll be Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson Series qualifying. We are a long way from closing this day out. Super Sport coming up next after this American Superbike final.
Well, Josh is still running solid right now. Just a little bit of a mistake in turn 11, last lap by. Ran a little bit wide on the exit of turn 11, which leads onto the straightaway. So Roger's doing exactly what he needs to do, keeping piling the heat on him, piling the pressure on him. And let's see if the 4 is going to crack under this pressure. We've seen it happen for him before. Now Roger again makes a good run at him over at Charlotte's Web. Falls back in line. That's not going to happen there this lap at least.
And for our fans at home that cannot see the entire racetrack, we will tell you right now that you might be asking, why are we not seeing any other battles on the racetrack? This is the best battle on the racetrack. There are other things kind of going on out there, but mostly right now there's 3, 4, 5 bike lengths separating the riders that had been battling. They're taking a breather too. So we are showing you the best battle on the racetrack just so that you will know. And that is it right there with Josh Hayes leading the 95 of Roger Hayden. It'll be 7 to go when they come back to the stripe next time, so we're getting down to it. Super Sport is coming up following this Superbike National right here. Super Sport will be next. So is Raj being cagey? Does he have more than he's showing right now? I don't know. They're both looking like they're giving a lot right this minute.
I think they're giving it out. I think they're laying it out there right now. I don't think there might be a little bit left on the table, but it's hard to say right now with these two. You know, Josh knows that he doesn't want Roger to get in front of him because that means he'll have to work hard to get back by. And like I said, it's not an easy track to get that done on. For Roger, he's going to take any opportunity that Josh gives him to make that move and get up front and see if he could lead this thing to the end. But right now, I think they're both so equally matched right now, it's going to be tough.
That's a beautiful part of this racetrack when you're sitting up on that hillside looking down on it. Breathtaking, really.
It's an interesting part of the racetrack to ride to the turn 14, 15, 16. It's a turn that you come into and it really loads the suspension super hard, and then it just kind of crests over the top of a hill and you just stay leaned over forever, it seems like, and then it decreases at the end. So this track is really challenging in a lot of ways and a lot of fun for the riders and a lot of fun for the fans. Here it is. Roger down the inside, not going to happen there. Josh super strong on the brakes right there. He showed him the wheelbarrow, but he thought, man, I ran it wide here once. He doesn't want to make a mistake by doing that.
Yeah, but he obviously gets a good drive. Of course, it's late braking all the way, and you got a choice or a decision. Let's go down and check on Aussie Dave Anthony's progress with Danielle.
Thanks, Barry. That's right. Dave Anthony's been finishing consistently in the top 5 this season. Something has clicked for Dave. Is it the restructuring of the team? He finished second at Road America and looking very strong and consistent here today as well.
There's a lot of things that add into good finishes. You know, we got some different crew guys. Dave's on a little bit of a different fitness plan, and just everybody working hard, working together. You know, things are coming together. We're excited to be putting up good results here.
That's right. Now we know second came in a rain situation at Road America that Dave was kind of on the fence in terms of feelings, but it's a second place nonetheless. Today, it seems like it really could be a legit finish.
Yeah, we're super excited to be able to earn this podium the way we think we have to race for it and go for it. But yeah, we're just happy to be here and excited to be finishing good.
Barry?
Thank you, Danielle. And while we were away, catching up with all the action at Aussie Dave Anthony's pit stall, we've had a big get-off over here, no question, Scott Russell.
Well, that's turn 14, 15 area. That's taken both the Yoshimura Suzukis out of the race. Roger is up, walking around now. He's sitting down up against the Armco. But that was a pretty big one there, Barry.
It was, and the catch fence did its job as well, keeping that bike from getting on completely out of the ballpark. It was a major get-off for Raj. He appears to be okay, and here's Fillmore. Fillmore's in the sand trap as well. The KTM is parked as well as Roger. The wheels are falling off the wagon for a couple of our stars here late in the going with 5 to go. And Roger Hayden, what a heartbreak. He was on his way to perhaps his best finish for a great finish here, even perhaps a win. And now Josh Hayes has all the breathing room in the world to conclude this one. He can relax a little.
Yeah, well, you asked, was there anything left? And they were riding on the edge. You know, this track's got a lot of lean angle for a long time in some of these corners. And you kind of wondered, is there anything left in the tank? Well, these guys were pushing hard all the way. And for Roger, we didn't see exactly what happened where he lost the front or the back, but it was a big one. And now I have to regroup. Looks like they have to build another motorcycle for tomorrow. But Josh is out front doing just what he wanted to do. Now he'll get that pit board that time by. There wasn't enough time to let him know that Roger was out that lap before. And now he's clear on that now, and there's nobody near him. David Anthony, who's inherited another second place here today. Looks like right now if he can bring this thing home with 4 more to go, he'll be thrilled. I think his emotions about the finish in this one will be a little bit different than the last one. And look at Chris Clark. Now Chris Clark up in the third.
Hey, buddy, you're right. Chris has now turned this thing into due to attrition. He's really, he was already in the hunt anyway, and those 2 riders have made a difference. And Raj had to crash over there in front of his uncle Marty and all the Owensboro bunch that were sitting up outside of 13. So unfortunate turn of events as well. And now Scott Russell, not only is Chris Clark benefiting, but someone else is too in the 4th spot.
I tell you, Larry Pegram's in 4th, and Sean Dwyer right now too moves up in that top 5. So wow, a lot of things have happened here today, and a lot of new guys are getting a shot up in the front and maybe getting up on the box.
Putting yourself in a position to capitalize on mistakes by others is a big part of racing, and we're seeing that right now. Chris Clark, Larry Pegram, Sean Dwyer, perhaps even Corey West might be in that group as well. But Larry Pegram up into the 4th spot, I like seeing that. He's been running good all weekend, been riding very well.
Well, we've really had a lot of attrition in this race. You talk about Martin Cardenas, Cameron Bobby, Chris Ulrich, Roger Hayden, Chris Fillmore. All these guys are parked now in one way or another, and Barber's really been tough on some people here today.
You know, it has. That ought to tell you a little bit about just how tough this place can be, especially on an extremely hot, humid day, because you're talking about some of the biggest names in our sport have all found a way to get on the ground here today prematurely.
And this is not good for the rest of the competition for tomorrow either, because you got Josh out there just logging in laps, getting more data, getting more comfortable with what he'll have to deal with tomorrow as the race goes on, and as far as tire wear, how he feels, how the bike works. This has just turned into a long practice session for him right now, and he's just kind of out there racing the racetrack.
Well, Josh won the season opener down at Daytona. Then in race 2 at Daytona, he was 21st, not good. At Road America, he had a 2nd and a 1st. So if you were to throw that Daytona 21st finish spot out and give him something like he's accustomed to, he would be way up higher in season points. Right now, he's 3rd coming into this one. So Scott Russell pointed out that Chris Clark is running 3rd on the racetrack. He's having a great day. If he can hang on, he's on the box. Let's go see what his crew chief has to say. Danielle Teal has caught up with him.
Thanks, Barry. That's right. Looking consistently strong this season is number 6, Chris Clark. Right now, he's sitting comfortably in 3rd. We still have a few laps to go, but it is a race of attrition out there, and it's about lasting till the checkered flag. What do you have to say for the number 6?
Chris has been really good. He's focused a lot on his fitness this year, done a lot of training, really happy with that. He's picked up a lot. Good, a lot more focus and stronger in the early laps, which is good. But like you said, we've still got a couple laps to go. It's pretty greasy out there. The guys, bad luck for some of the guys that have gone out, probably due to the conditions and that, but let's hope he can bring it home for his first podium.
Barry?
Thanks, Danielle. That's good. Yeah, Physical conditioning's a lot of it. He's recognizing that some good men threw the bikes away today, and that opened the door for him too. And it certainly did help this guy out, though he may have found the top of the box on his own. But right now, he is not under any pressure at all. Scott has explained to us that, and I have to go with that, it's just a really long data collecting, good practice session. He's going to get 8 or 10 more laps than Roger Hayden and others, but don't count out the Yoshimura Suzuki factory team or Roger Hayden. Roger's going to want it worse tomorrow than today, if that's possible, and we'll see him back. The white flag is displayed to our race leader, Josh Hayes. We'll see it, as will the rest of the field as they make their way by. 1 to go here in American Superbike. Christy Lee will bring us our victory podium celebration momentarily, soon as this one is in the book. And Aussie Dave Anthony, for the second Superbike race in a row, is if he can finish there, Scott, is going to get another second.
Yeah, he's run a great race today, and a lot of things have gone his way and put him in this spot, but a lot of hard work, too, goes into this. So he's got to be happy for himself and for the team, and he's got no pressure from behind. He's got a little over half a lap to bring that thing home, and same for Chris Clark. As we see him go by, he's got no pressure from behind. He can see David Anthony just far enough up there where he's like, there's no way I'll catch him. And so just these top 3 guys are just kind of out there doing their own thing. And there's Larry Pegram, another one in 4th, who's got no pressure from behind. So top 4, we got a bike smoking on the front straightaway.
We've got one hand grenade is what we've got, I suspect. That was a good bit of smoke we saw right there out of somebody's motorcycle. He's off the surface. And they're throwing the red right now. The red is out. It's for, oh my goodness, and it's right just out of the groove. But the red flag is out. They're going to end this one. We're past 80%. Working the white flag lap. That'll mean that the Superbike race is over, and Josh Hayes will be declared your winner.
Look like Frankie Babushka to me there, Barry, number 16, that has the problem. Turn 1.
Wisely putting out, yep, there it is. It's the 76 of Barnott Martinez, I believe is who it was.
Well, there you go then.
Oh, there you have it.
I should let you do the race call.
No, you're doing good.
I'll analyze it, and you call it from here.
You just keep up the good work. So there's the guy that's going to be celebrating in just a couple of moments. He's going to make a lap around here and say hello to the fans and wave at all the folks that have come out today here at Barber. But Josh Hayes, through great riding, a great motorcycle, and maybe perhaps a little bit of attrition help in the form of Roger Hayden throwing the thing away in a major get-off. When Roger's bike went into the catch fence, it looked about 4 bike lengths up in the air, and it got a lot of damage in the process. And there's Josh. He's celebrating. It'll be Aussie Dave Anthony finishing in the 2nd spot, and your 3rd place finisher today, a great ride for Chris Clark as well. So Aussie Dave is going to bring the ADR Motorsports Sick Motul Fly Racing Suzuki to the box. And Chris Clark is going to bring his Yoshimura Suzuki factory racing machine to the box too. So the Yoshimura Suzuki guys got a podium today.
That's the benefit of having 3 riders right there, isn't it? But congratulations to Chris Clark. First podium on Superbike. That's big.
That's a big deal for sure. So cool down laps underway. Riders saying hello to the fans. So Christy Lee down there right now, busy getting set to go. We're going to throw it down to her as soon as the top 3 have arrived and she gets a chance to talk to our top 3 finishers. We'll get their thoughts as soon as they take their helmets off, and then we'll be joining her for the official race call. And then when we go back, and we do come back after victory podium, it is a 41-rider super sport race, 15-lap affair yet to come, and it is going to happen quick. We're projecting a start time of 4:25, barring some unforeseen circumstances here, as Josh Hayes, who definitely knows how to find the podium, ready for it? All right, we're going to go down trackside as Josh Hayes takes the helmet off. Christy Lee is right on the spot with our race winner to get his thoughts. Christy?
Number 4, Josh Hayes, our big winner today, obviously with difficult conditions here at Barber Motorsports Park. Josh, I know you're trying to get hydrated and cool off a little bit. We're going to grab you away for just a quick second. Tell us about that race out there. Congrats.
You know, it was exactly what I talked about. You know, it was a really slippery, greasy racetrack, and you know, I said there could be a lot of mistakes, and I thought the second half of the race would definitely be where it happened, and you know, it seems like it happened throughout. You know, it's definitely a different podium than we're used to. Big congratulations to these guys up here, but I'm glad I was able to hold on. That R1's hard, man. It's so fast. It doesn't have a lot of grip out there. You know, it wants to spin out all the time. So maybe my bike's been drinking too much Monster, but you know, I'm lucky. I've been training hard, so I was able to hang on to that thing and bring it home, and I'm happy to do that for the team.
Way to make the best of the difficult conditions for yourself and the team. Number 4 of Josh Hayes on the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha. Congratulations, today's AMA Pro SuperBike winner. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, he's won yet another attrition-filled race. Did the same thing in Road America last week in a downpour. This week in greasy, hot, slick, sunshiny conditions. And by being perhaps cautious in both venues, able to find the box. So let's go down trackside now. I'm excited to hear from Aussie Dave Anthony, and Christy has got him.
Number 25, Dave Anthony, I know you've got to be excited about taking the second place finish today, your best finish yet in AMA Pro SuperBike. Road America was still an accomplishment getting on the podium, but I know that you feel really good about taking this one. Congrats.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good to be up here. It was a matter of attrition out there, but hey, you know, I brought it to the end, and that's what counts. And yeah, it's great to be up here.
You have been training hard, and I know your team's been working hard to get you in this position. What's changed, and what's the plan moving forward?
It's just it's a new team. It's new me. It's new everything. Like, everybody stepped it up and made it happen. And yeah, you wouldn't believe how different we do things to last year, and that's what's making the difference.
Congratulations once again to the number 25 of Dave Anthony. Barry?
I love it. You know, Aussie Dave, he's a good, clean competitor. He runs a tight ship over there at ADR. He deserves success. And Scott, he looks like he's going to have some here. He's really beginning to do well. And you can't take anything away from today's finish or last week's either.
No, you know, sometimes it takes riders and teams years to gel and riders to come into their own. And maybe that's what we're seeing right now with David. And it's good to see some new blood up on the podium.
Well, speaking of new blood, let's throw it down to Chris Clark. He earned a podium today, too, and he'll enjoy it in a moment. We're going to first get his thoughts with Christy.
Very difficult conditions today opened up some opportunities for many riders, including number 6 of Chris Clark on the podium today in AMA Pro SuperBike. I know you've got to be just outstanding right now. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's incredible. I'm really first podium in AMA Pro, and to do it in SuperBike against these boys, it definitely means something. And you know, definitely a race of attrition out there today. Probably didn't deserve it, but you know, that's how the race went, and we're there. I got to thank the whole Yoshimura squad for putting an incredible bike behind me. Shoei, Cortec. Anyone else I'm forgetting, I'm sorry, but it's going a million miles an hour right now. So
congrats again to the number 6 of Chris Clark and the Yoshimura Suzuki Racing team. Barry?
Thank you so much, Christy. Great job, Christy Lee. How exciting for us all to see Chris Clark earn his podium in Superbike. That's big.